Vanessa Mechelle, and we are here with our new episode of Mondays with Mechelle. I am sorry for the late upload. I was having some technical difficulties and was unable to get it up on time. But without further ado, we're still gonna post, even though it'll be on the following day. It's still gonna be a Mondays with Mechelle episode. So without further ado, we're gonna get started with today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, Vanessa Mechelle, so you can stay tuned and be a part of the family and just heal. You can heal with me, you can heal yourself, you can heal your friends and family. Definitely forward my videos to your friends and family. Anybody that may need to hear a message that I have to say in my videos, that would be much appreciated. So this week's episode, I wrote notes this time because the idea came to me. And it is going to be networking your way into your dream reality. Well, your dream life, actually. Network your way into your dream life. And pretty much I have a bunch of things listed that I want to touch on that can help you get to where you want to go in life and the steps to take to get to your dream life, pretty much. So what is your dream life? Like, what do you want to do long term? Or what is your end goal? Or what is one of your goals that you want to achieve in your life? I know for everybody it's different, and either way, that is your dream. That is still a dream. It's still in your mind. It's not your reality yet. So how can we make that dream a reality? Here's a few steps to do that. And it all starts with networking. So the first one is going to be connect with people who are in the fields you want to be in. So I learned this in my first 2 years of college. And you take college 101, like pretty much like just like a regular basic class. It's like a 1-credit class. All freshmen have to take it. And pretty much in that class tell you about networking and how important it is to network, especially when you are new into the world and you trying to find your way in the world and you don't know where you want to go, or maybe you do know where you want to go but you don't know how to get there. So networking your way in the world, especially when you're starting out, or even at my age, when you're much older. I'm 27, I'm still in my 20s and stuff, but for anybody even older than me, and you've been in a career, you've been in a job for a very, very long time, and you're ready for a fresh start, it still applies to you as well. So pretty much, let's say you worked in a career. Let's say you worked in hospitality for a very long time, and you want to go into healthcare, or you want to go into finance, or you want to go into IT. The best way to at least get your foot in the door, or to be able to have ways to get your foot in the door outside of applying for the jobs online, is to actually go to networking events, or be able to contact people or jobs that you actually want to be in, or companies that you want to work for. And of course, like, the contact information for a lot of the people that you may look for is online and could be on these platforms. And I would even go as far as to network with your college or university professors. Definitely do that. Definitely reach out to board members, or at least like the chair of your majors, or a particular major that you are interested in attending. Now, I know for online courses it's a little bit different, but it still works out the same way. You can still email, phone call, definitely connect so that you can get your foot in the door. Because I don't know if you guys know, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. Because who you know will get you into doors that your resume when you go and fill out an application doesn't. And I know that sounds so bad to say, but that's true. A lot of these jobs or a lot of these companies, you fill out an application and you know you qualify, but you never hear anything back, and you're like, you know you qualified for that job or that position, or even if you don't have any experience in that field, but you have skills that you can use from previous jobs and places that you've been at, or just regular life skills that you can apply to your new environment or new job or new career that you want to step into. So definitely check out events. Eventbrite is another one of the bullet points that I had on my list, but I will mention Eventbrite now because let's say you never went to college, or if you have been to college but it's been a long time since you've been out of college, or you never took advantage of the resources while you were in school and you pretty much was like, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do and leave. A lot of students do that, and I'm telling you, don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. And it's okay if you already did it. It's okay. You might be lucky to be able to reach out to previous professors and stuff, or you were very shy and timid and you really didn't. You just passed through just so you get out of school. That is 100% understandable because college is hard. So yeah, but even with that being said, Eventbrite will be one of your best friends. Now I will say that do be careful, do be mindful, because I've heard that some of like the postings could be scams. I never personally experienced anything like that. I usually go for free events that are literally like public places. Always do your research on the actual event planner or the event host and the location that the event is going to be taking place, so you don't end up in a terrible situation. But for the most part, most of the events, if not all the events that I have attended using Eventbrite is not sponsored, but if Eventbrite, you see this video and you want to sponsor your girl, definitely sponsor me, because I need a sponsor, okay? So but besides the point though, but with the Eventbrite, you can definitely find many networking events, business events, summits, everywhere. Like you can find anything, and it's also like dedicated to your area or areas that you may want to go to. So let's say, for example, you live in New York and you type in New York and it's gonna give you all the events in New York. Or if you want to be even more specified, which makes it a lot more easier. I know New York is a big state, so it's either you're talking about New York, or New York City and stuff. But pretty much, like if you're doing New York City, for example, then it's going to give you all the events. It also includes like nightlife. It includes a lot of things if you're not familiar with Eventbrite. But I definitely use Eventbrite as a tool to be able to find events or networking opportunities for me to be able to connect with people, so that at the end of the day, you never know who you're gonna meet at these events. Like that's the thing. Like you always go in with an open mind. And for the people who are shy, a little timid, a little scared of meeting new people or putting yourself out there, I was one of those people. You may not think that way, but I am shy. I do like kind of like shelter myself a little bit and stuff. But once you actually talk to me and get to know me, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Like I'm not gonna be like, ooh, unless you're like scary or weird or something. But and if you're the same way, or if you have a similar personality type as me, then, and you definitely, like you want to try the event and you don't want to go alone, bring a friend. See if that Eventbrite, that event or that networking situation, you can book more than one ticket at the same time. Or you can send the link to your friend and they can also book a ticket to go to the event as well. And also I want to bring up the fact that not all events are in person. There are some online networking events as well. But personally, I prefer to do in person because it's better to do in-person conversations anyway. Plus, you can give out a business card. If you don't have a business card, you don't even have to have a business to have a business card. The card is for you. You are your own brand. You are your own business. You don't have to have social media as your like prime, like as that source of income, or that's your job or whatever. You could be a nurse and have a business card. You can be a librarian and have a library card. I mean, I said a library card. A business card. Like, or even if you don't have, like, even if you think that you as a person, you feel like you don't need a business card that is visible to give to someone. I just started doing more digital business cards lately, because the original business cards that I have for my personal business and brand, they're old. Like, I bought those like way back when I first started Big Baby's Magic and everything. And now, like, the way of the world, everything is transitioned, but business cards are still a big thing. But there are platforms like Linktree where you can have a QR code and people can scan it, and you can put all the links to websites, platforms that are yours, like so many different things you can add to it where people can find you. Let's say you have an Etsy shop and you sell knitted wear, like you knit your own clothes and hats and like purses and things like that, and you have a website, you have a personal website, you have an Etsy shop. You can put the links to those into your Linktree. And also, Linktree sponsored me too, because I ain't playing with y'all. I'm over here putting y'all onto these things, and these brands are not sponsoring me, but I want y'all to be successful. So that's all a part of networking too, because you can have a face-to-face conversation and they're gonna be like, well, I want to connect with you more. Sometimes you may not want to give out your personal number, or most of the time when you're in these networking events, they're not always giving you their personal number. They're giving you a work number. And it's okay if you don't have a work number, but they're not just going to be like, oh, hey, well, just write my number down like that. Like, they're usually going to give you a business card or switch socials with you, depending on who it is. But usually we're talking about business professionals. Doesn't matter the field, doesn't matter. They're usually going to give you a business card and everything. They're always going to give you a business card of some sort, and it looks really good, and you will be very professional if you have a business card with you as well. Even if it is digital and it's something they can scan and they have it on their phone, still be a little mindful of that. I know for me personally, I still like to have a hard copy of a card, because I can be like, well, I have this to give to you, and they look at it and like, oh, I really like your card. This is really interesting. And then when they find out the name of my business, they're like, oh, like, it's a good conversation starter. Like, you can make conversation with anything. And in the midst of that too, have a pitch. And I'm not talking about like a pitch to like sell, like, you know how when you hear a pitch to sell something, you're selling yourself. You're selling you and your skills in under like 15 seconds when you first meet somebody. Like under 15, your elevator, pretty much your elevator like speech that you're gonna tell someone, so they pretty much know you, and they know you at a small glance, and it makes them think like, oh, I want to get to know you more, if that makes sense. So for example, for me, I would say, hi, my name is Varnessa Beavers, and I own a catering business called Big Baby's Magic, where I cater food and alcoholic beverages. As well, I also collaborated with my sister in creating a nonprofit organization. And if you like to learn more about either or more of these items, I would definitely like to give you my business card so you can look more in detail in regards to those things, or we can even have a conversation further if you would like. And you go from there. And you put the option in their hands and you're like, okay. They'd be like, oh, okay. They'd be like, okay. And you'd be like, and like inside, like I know it may, like at first you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. Practice makes perfect. If you don't want to practice, like practice in front of your friends and family. If they not taking you seriously or they trying to be funny, then just practice in the mirror. Practice in the mirror in the bathroom or in your bedroom by yourself, and get comfortable. Get comfortable figuring out who you are, what you like, what's your brand, and go from there. Like, I have a testimony when it comes to networking and events. And in that testimony, I went to an event. I'm not directly military affiliated, but my father was in the military. And I had gotten an email for a military networking event. And it was for, and in that event, it was also for like family members and friends of like either like active members or veteran members and stuff. And it was downtown at the Air and Space Museum. This was many years ago when this happened. And fast forward, I was nervous because, mind you, like I said, I'm not military affiliated, but I was still able to sign up for the event. And it was like an evening event at the Air and Space Museum. So I got to see the museum at night, which was really cool and everything. And most of the people, if not everybody that was there that I personally met, they were military affiliated, whether if they were still in actively or if they were a veteran. And I met a few people where I got connected with nonprofit organizations and well-known companies. That same year I connected with a nonprofit and I became a social media manager for that, and that was called Capricia Cares. Now the actual founder and owner of Capricia Cares was not at the event, but one of her colleagues that knew her was at the event, and she gave me her contact information for me to reach out to her. So, and just by me having that dialogue with the woman who I met at the event, I wish I remember her name, but my dialogue with her helped me connect with Capricia and everything. And then within that same evening, I also connected with the CEO of a Best Buy store in DC, and I was able to get hired on the spot. Mind you, I had like applied multiple times to this place and never got a response, but the moment I meet the GM, he's like, oh, okay, well, let me connect you with the assistant manager, hiring manager, and go from there. Did the interview and I got the job. I was pretty much already guaranteed without even me stepping in the door. That's what I mean when I say you have to network and sell yourself, because you never know who you are going to meet. I promise you that. You never know who you're going to meet. You never freaking know. So it's very important to always put your best foot forward. Always carry yourself professionally and with class. And for gentlemen, carry yourself like you have some sense. Stop always trying to catcall or try to hit on people all the time like that's supposed to be your way of getting in the door. That's not always the best way to get in the door. Act like you have some sense, have some manners, have some respect, have some decorum. Same thing with women. Same thing with women too. You don't have to try to shimmy your way up to the top by dealing with people inappropriately. You can actually have conversations with people and get what you need without having to do anything extra behind the scenes. Now, if you have to do those things, then maybe that's not the space for you, but I'm not here to judge on that. All I can say is if you got to do what you got to do, that's on you. But I know me personally, and anybody that wants to actually take the proper way to getting to the life that you want to live and be successful and live out the dreams that you want to achieve, you don't have to devalue yourself and disgrade yourself to get to that point. You can walk in these rooms like you deserve to be there. You know you deserve to be there. So always, in every manner of the sense, always stand 10 toes down and know that you are always meant to be in these environments. It doesn't matter where you go. Always walk through life knowing that you belong there. Even if you feel like you don't. There's been so many times where I felt like, oh, I don't feel like I need to be here, or I don't belong here. And it's a place where I actually genuinely see myself going. Or it's a place where I know that I aspire to be or become that person, if that makes sense. Like I said previously, like, definitely stand on your values and your morals so you can become the person who you want to become and not degrade yourself and allow people to do things to you, or you do things that are very degrading, where when you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't see yourself, you see the parts of you that you never wanted to become just to get to where you are. Don't become a dirty person because you want something that bad. Be a good person. Have a good heart. Good people still win. Good people still overcome. You can still overcome anything and everything that is thrown against you. You can still do it. So remember that for sure. And another thing, organizations and program parties are also another way of networking. So let's say you join clubs, organizations, use those avenues as ways to network with people. And even if you're like early in college, or if you're a young adult like myself and you're not a part of any like large or any like groups or organizations at the moment, like I said, Eventbrite is a good way of sourcing those organizations. And all organizations and clubs have parties and events. And even at a party or an event, there's always somebody you can meet. There's always somebody you can meet at a party or event. Now, of course, with like, have discernment and have discretion on the alcohol that you are consuming while you're at these events, if there's alcohol provided. And if you are grown and you're over the age of 21, there's definitely going to be alcohol at these events. Now, be very, very mindful, because that was one of the other things that I put on this list, was you can also network at happy hours. And with that being said, only reason why I put down networking at happy hours is I'm not talking about just any. Now, you can go to any place that offers a happy hour, but, and I say this with a strong but, because when I say go to a happy hour, I'm not saying just go to your regular normal spot that you may go to with your friends or your girlfriends or your boys and try to network with people there, unless that environment is somewhere where you want to be or somewhere you want to work, or you know that there's people there that you really want to connect with that is not on a intimate level. When I say network, we're getting to your dream life. Your dream life shouldn't be to be intimate with everybody that you see. No. Have self-control. Have discernment. Have self-control and discernment when it comes to that. I'm talking about, if you're going to a happy hour, go to hotel happy hours. Go to upscale restaurants and bars where you actually had to have a type of etiquette and decorum, or has a standard of etiquette and a quorum to it, where you can actually meet people who are business professionals that are in the fields that you want to go to. Prime example, let's say you want to go into IT, right? You want to go into IT, and Washington, D.C. is known for so many events. And let's say there's a summit, there's a convention downtown. There are so many hotels, real nice, real fancy hotels that are downtown. And you know that the people who are coming to the summit or the convention, they need somewhere to stay. They're usually going to stay in the hotels that are near or around the convention center or downtown area vicinity. Check out those happy hour bars if you can make it to those happy hour bars. You can even call and inquire, and to follow up with that, even if it isn't like a day where it's a convention going on or like a big event happening in the city. Let's say it's just like a regular day. There isn't really any big events happening in the city, and you just want to figure out, you just want to go down there, check it out, see what the vibe is. Network with the bartender. I know that may sound like, network with the bartender. I'm a bartender. I'm telling you this because if you network with the bartender, they will get you hip to everything, especially if they've been there for a while. I'm telling you this. The bartenders will help you out, because the bartenders usually, even if they may not know their name, but if they may not know the name if they're new, or if they are a regular and they know they got change, they got coins, they will let you know. Now, of course, they're not going to tell you that up front because you don't know them and they don't know you. You got to build relationships with them. And especially if the bartender knows that they are a regular, or you notice that bartender is really treating them very well, and that person looks well off, you can even be like, hey, well, guys do it all the time. Send a drink to that person. Or even if you don't want to go that far to send a drink to someone, strike up a conversation with that person and just see if they're open to it. Look at their cues. Look at their body language to see if they really want to have a conversation with you and everything. And if they are open to have a conversation with you, then you can be like, well, what's your name? What do you do for a living? You can learn a lot about a person during a happy hour or like at a bar. And I'm not saying you drink it heavy or anything. Like, if you're really having a really good conversation, or to push things a little bit further, bring something that you know will strike up a conversation. Whether if you're wearing something or you bring something physically with you. Like, for example, it was one time, this is when I was vlogging out in public. This was when, I was vlogging out in public. I had this camera, the same camera that I'm recording on right now, and I had it on a tripod. And I went to a happy hour. It was still happy hour, but I was just going there to get some food, and it was a vibe. I got dinner and food, right? And I'm just sitting in my business. I'm literally like, the camera is running while I'm like ordering, and a gentleman came up to me, and he was sitting there, he was talking, and he struck up a conversation with me just because I had the camera. And he was like, oh, like, what's up with the camera? Why you have a camera and stuff? And I told him I'm a vlogger and all this, that, and the third, and that just started a whole conversation. Most of the time it's usually surface level, professional, chill. Nobody try to hit on one or the other. It was never like that. But you know, sometimes even just like little things like a camera can strike up conversations. We started talking about business. He started talking about history, about things I never knew about. And like, you can learn a lot from people. You can learn a lot from people. And it's really, really interesting. And it's really, really cool and everything. But men and women can do it. So that's why I'm saying, now for my fellas, you might be able to do the same thing, have a camera. I don't know. Of course, like, scope out the vibe. Now, you may not be able to bring cameras into these places most of the time. I have not vlogged with this camera out in public lately, so I really can't vouch for the camera in some of these environments. But you can wear an article of clothing that may catch somebody's eye. Make sure it is appropriate. Like I said, please be appropriate when you're going into these environments and everything. Of course, be yourself, but also be appropriate. And yeah, like, it's so much to it. And then what else? Oh, professional development classes and workshops as like the final aspect to this networking your way into your dream life. Okay, prime example, I'm gonna use the same one that I used previously. Let's say you're coming from hospitality and you want to go into IT because you hear the IT field is becoming more and more of a cash grab or a way to grow your business and grow yourself as a person, and you want to make more income so you can be more financially free, but you haven't taken any computer classes, or as far as the specifics, you don't have any like real hands-on experience or really know all the technical terms. You can take business professional classes or personal development classes and workshops. There are a lot of online certifications there, and you can look them up online. You can also, if you want to go back to school, you can get a certificate. I will also look into your local, like, look into the libraries. A lot of times they usually offer computer classes. Like, if you don't know anything about computers, they offer basic computer classes, typing classes, things of that sort, so you can get your skills up that way as well. Of course, like I said, there's a lot of online workshops. You just have to use Google as your best friend and everything. We have information at our fingertips. You have a cell phone, you have an iPad or a tablet, you have a laptop or a desktop computer. Like, you have so much. You have YouTube, for goodness sake, to learn about anything and everything you can think of. So definitely use those sources as well as your way of networking. Of course, you may not be able to communicate with that person in that video directly or anything, but that's still a resource to use to help you move forward, to help you get closer to that dream that really is going to become your reality, if that is what you want. But that's all I have for you about that. But I do want to end the video with this. We are networking our way into our dream life. We are going to stomp on the fears. We're going to release that. We're going to shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. That's what Taylor Swift said. She said, shake it off. Shake off that fear. Step on it. Kick it out the door. Don't let it stop you. Don't let your fear stop you. Don't let it stop you, because if you keep letting it stop you, you're never gonna get to where you want to go in life. And if you really want to go there and you really want to be there, you can. But the first step is to let go of that fear and step out on faith. Step out on faith, let go of that fear, and make new connections, because you never know. You may meet your manager, you may meet the CEO of a brand or a company that you've been wanting to go to or work for, you just never know who you will meet. And you may get even more lucky. You may meet your husband or wife while networking. You just never freaking know. But to iterate all that though, definitely check out Eventbrite for networking events. Definitely connect with organizations and clubs. If you don't have any or you're not a part of any, go look for some. The internet will be your best friend. Be careful of scams. Always do your due diligence to do research on these clubs and organizations to make sure that their values and morals fit your standards and you're not degrading yourself and doing things that you know is not you to get to the rooms that you know you want to be in. You don't have to do that. You can always go in the right way and stand and do what you got to do so you can make that dream a reality. And peace and blessings to everybody. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. And I will see you guys in my next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.